everybody. Welcome to another episode of Everybody Games. I'm your host, Naomi Kyle. We have Kyle O'Connor, my co-host, who's also here.
Hi.
And Leslie.
Yay! Leslie's the best.
Leslie is the best. We're so happy to have
fair
you.
warning about your headphones.
Yeah, watch those headphones. We have
Maybe
not
hold them out a little bit.
hold them out. Luckily, we have Emily, who's amazing. She, I'm sure, can
Audio.
do good audio stuff,
Yeah.
so your ears will be completely and utterly safe.
Our first episode
Let's
had
hope.
funky audio levels, and one of my coworkers, Lucy's like, yeah, every time you would laugh, it would be like, shake her car speakers. I can imagine what your voice is doing to the speakers right now.
But we know you from AMD.
Yeah.
And from just being in the industry and like hanging out and stuff. So it's really nice to have you. Real quick housekeeping. We always do this. Our patrons who are at the hardcore tier on Patreon, we want to give you guys a shout out. We almost know you all by name. I
All by
can probably
heart.
go without
But
checking
I like
my
to
phone.
confirm it. It's worth
I will
confirming.
confirm it, but let me give it a shot. Steven Insler,
Yeah.
shout out to you.
The
You've
OG.
been
Yay.
the OG. Yes, that's
From
right.
the get-go.
OG hardcore patron. Thank you so much for supporting this podcast. It means the world
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
And then we have Jefferson West
Yes.
as well, who is
Yes.
another one.
Yay.
And the next one is Kelly.
James Kelly. You did it.
I did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even want to confirm it because you
You're
seem
right.
confident.
Mhm.
I feel pretty confident about it. So there you go, guys.
Yeah.
James Kelly and Jefferson West and Steven Insler. Thank you so much,
Yes.
as always, for supporting the podcast.
Thanks
but yeah,
for supporting my friends.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. We get to do this cool stuff. It's really fun.
Yeah,
get
I
to
get
do.
to hang out with you, and
That's
all
right.
all because of your followers.
that's
there, so.
right.
Yeah,
My
it's really
awesome,
supportive.
awesome
Yeah.
friends.
Patreon's awesome. It's like the best direct way you can support content creators. So.
It really is.
Yeah.
And, you get that custom feed and you get to, like, chat with people.
Yeah,
And respond
we've
to
gotten
them
some really
directly.
good feedback on Patreon, like on the
We
content.
did, yeah, because we just launched Last Week in Gaming,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been going super well, and the feedback has been there, but most of it's just been really positive. Like,
Yeah.
just comments being like, we're so
Guy
glad
had
you
a great
finally
idea
doing
to
Nice.
make
this.
it. A guy was like, "You should make it audio," and I was like, "That is a great idea. Like, you're right. It should be audio." Yeah. It's like not much extra work to do it. So
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, so Leslie,
let's talk about Leslie.
Yeah, I love. Yes,
Big fan
let's
of
make it
Leslie.
about our guests because every week we have a new guest, and this time I'm so happy it's you because we've actually been working together. I want to say we built a PC. We've
Yeah.
built three PCs
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And we just finished working at PAX West,
Yep.
in Seattle, and how did you get into the industry? I'm pretty sure I've asked you this before, but you've been in it for a long time.
Yeah, 15 years. I've been in it
That's a
15
long time.
years. Yeah.
Let's get you
it was-
closer to the mic. I'm sorry.
I can't believe I'm not loud enough.
I know. It's like your laugh is
She's
gonna
like laughing and trying. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried it. No, I'm just.
I didn't mean to derail it.
Let's see. Where was I?
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Long time to
That
be
is
in the industry
that is an
like
illustrious
this.
gaming career.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And I
was-
met you like 3 years. It's been 3 years we've known each other, I want to say.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
About that.
Yeah. So my career has been 100% accidental.
Really?
Yeah, there's kind of like how I became a homeowner. Like everything in my life is accidental. It's
just, like,
there's,
happens.
there's no intent. It's
Happy
just like
little
falls
accidents.
into place.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I spent 10 years in higher education, running college computer stores and service centers.
Oh,
It's
wow.
kind of where I learned about all the parts of the PC.
Oh, wow.
So that was way back. I was just telling somebody earlier today, they were looking for advice on how to reach out to colleges. And it's like, I was there from 91 to 2001, and then Apple Higher Education from 2001 to 2003. And then NVIDIA hired me for a marketing position. And I quickly learned that was about gaming. Was
Yeah,
the
it was
marketing
a
message,
primary,
right?
yeah.
And so I started playing games and stuff like that. And worked it into, the imagery and creating video content and stuff like that. So that's kind of, I just kept falling into place. Nothing really had too much to do with the prior gig. Well, I mean, it did, but
I would say you're being a little modest because you're awesome at your job. Like you don't get hired by accident at those sort of companies, but that's cool.
Clearly saw you were qualified
Yeah.
and saw something. Yeah, but that's so an interesting route. But like, still, I think that's what's cool about this industry. It's like you can literally. There's so many different angles. It's still a business.
Yeah.
Like we still
Yeah.
need like accountants and things like this. So there's so many different avenues you could get into the industry, and you just had like that particular.
yeah, I mean, for me, it was marketing. And I go out and I do a lot of talks to kids and stuff about how
You're
to
really
get
good at
into-
that.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I love inspiring kids. I have my own kids. Tried to inspire them. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's a little different when it's yours,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But there's so many. It's like any career you want, practically, you know, you can have it in the gaming industry. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Just like you
Game-
can have it. I mean, maybe it's a little harder in Hollywood, but like just like you can have it in any sort of like medium.
Yeah.
Like, it really.
Everybody needs an accountant. Everybody
it's
needs
a
a lawyer.
business. Exactly.
Everybody needs marketers.
And everybody
engineers.
games.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
We've been
If you're
so good at
listening, I
name
just did
dropping
finger
our-
guns to the camera. Yeah.
That the
For those of you
Little-
listening.
Cool little finger guns. That's really cool. I didn't know that at all. I didn't know you were in higher education. I was
Yeah.
I worked in education as well before the gaming
Oh,
industry.
did you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was a special ed teacher.
Oh, okay.
I don't even
Yeah.
know if
Alright.
we've talked about this on the podcast about your
No.
teaching background.
Yeah,
But
I started being like an aide. Well, actually, my mom taught autistic kids, and then in high school I would go and help. And then after in college, I got a job as being like an aide in classrooms, like substitute aide. And then I kind of got specialized in working with like behaviorally and emotionally disturbed kids. And then when I got to a certain point in college credits, I did the test to become a sub teacher, and then got a
Nice.
long term, and it was really cool. That one was tough, emotionally and behaviorally disturbed
Oh,
kids.
yeah.
That's a hard job. So everyone working that job right now, like
It's
Props.
That's really hard.
It's tough,
Hard gig.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you were particularly good at it.
I liked it.
You liked it.
yeah, I think I was good at it because the kids responded well to me because I would
Yeah.
like talk to them like they were kids, and I would talk about stuff that they cared about, and like actually video games a lot of times, and like I could relate to them, and like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't just it was cool. If at any point in my life I get to the point where I'm like crazy comfortable, ton of money, I'd go back to teaching for a bit. and
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really fun. I enjoyed it. It's a long time now. What is that? What year is it? 2018.
So, yeah,
2018.
Yeah.
What was that, like 4 or 5 years, I think? Yeah, about, but it was good. So I didn't
Yeah.
know you worked in education as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was I ran computer stores and service centers
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but at San Diego State and
Yeah, you just
UCSD
deal with
and
kids a lot, yeah, and
Stanford,
students.
Yeah, dealt a lot with students for sure.
Any
Yeah.
like memorable experiences working with kids or as a teacher?
I mean, they weren't. It wasn't young kids. It was. I mean, they were young.
Yeah.
17, 18 to 22 or whatever. But the there isn't like a one memorable moment in working with them. Like there was a lot of crazy things on the service center side. Like back in those days, it's like when people talked about having the coffee coaster and stuff
Yeah.
like that, you
Yeah.
remember all
Right.
that stuff?
Yeah.
There's some crazy stuff that would go on. Like, do you remember the 5 1/4 inch floppy
Yeah,
disks?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
somebody
do.
once
I
came
really
in
do.
and had it folded in fourths and said that they couldn't get it. They were trying to put it in the 3 1/2 inch
What?
my
floppy
God.
disk. And then one of my service guys talking on the phone, he's like, "No, so to copy it, you put it, you take it and you drag it over here and blah blah." And the woman on the other end, it took like a half hour to figure out. She's holding a piece of paper and then putting it. It was like all about a piece of paper. It
Oh
wasn't
my
a document
God.
on the computer.
So she couldn't grasp the idea of the technology being a completely
yeah,
just
it was-
unrelated
it was-
to
yeah.
kind of her set idea of what.
Yeah.
It was
How
yeah,
it's
it was
supposed to
so
work.
yeah. Those are some of, and then there's things like the law school got 100 laptops that had didn't have a network card in them or had the wrong one, so I had to swap them all out, take them
Whoa.
all apart, and put the network cards in. And
Man, you've got some like legit like in the trenches experience with it.
that was in the
Yeah.
trenches
It's
for
not
sure.
it's not
yeah.
just like, hey, I'm building these amazing high-end PCs. It's like I'm putting network cards in 100 laptops.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so cool.
So now
100 laptops. That was
100 laptops working on those. And have you seen like just, I mean, you're from the start. I guess it was like the dot-com bubble around that time, 91 you said? Or no, when was the dot-com
No, that was like
bubble?
end
It
of
was
the
like-
90s.
Yeah. So that, I mean, you got to see the evolution of computers becoming like
did.
way more prominent.
Like when I started at San Diego State, like we were just getting email.
Right.
You know,
Like that was a new thing.
and it was
I don't know, like
it
a
was
time when
only
it didn't
internal.
exist.
It was
Yeah.
only internal. The emails could only come from other people at San Diego State.
Wow. So it was like
You must have got
super
some
niche.
funny ass emails. Like,
Yeah,
people
right.
saying, like there's no email etiquette. There's nothing like, hey, don't put that on a computer. You probably got some funny stuff.
Right.
I think there's a story of like the first thing that was ever bought and sold on the internet was like someone bought weed from another person that was working on the
really?
internet. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So I'll get fact checked, but I'm pretty sure that's a true story. That's funny. Like email
yeah.
is crazy. Like you've been in the industry so long. What do you think of it in its current state?
Email in its current
No,
state,
the
or-
industry as a whole, like the gaming industry. Like, is
It
there
related to PCs?
just anything?
Yeah.
Like what's the most different? Like, what's the starkest contrast you've seen today compared to like when you started? I know that's a super big question, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'll bring that to kind of being a woman gamer
yeah,
kind of thing, because that,
imagine.
you know, because it's like, you know, one of the joys I get out of life is helping other people be happy
Yeah.
and stuff like that, right? So, so you know, I have a passion for inclusivity and stuff like that. Kind of back to like the beginning of my career, one of the, like, I remember the moment that I realized I was a gamer. Because I would, to get content made, I would go and I'd practice a game. This is pre-release. I'd get access to the games that I was working on. Go in and practice the games, find out what I wanted to do, where the technology comparisons were and stuff like that. And then I'd get a guy to come in and run through the gameplay, right?
Oh.
And so, you know, I'd be like, okay, this is what I need you to do, and blah, blah, blah. And the guy that I would use is still a good friend of mine. But there's like one day it was Just Cause, which I loved that game, right?
The first one?
The first one, yeah.
Nice.
And so I'm like, okay, go up this hill and blow that up and go this, and he kept messing it up, right? So I'm like, all right,
give me that
move
controller.
over. Let me show you what I'm trying to tell you to do. And then I went through all the motions and, you know, woo, got big explosion,
Yeah.
whatever. And then
The perfect content
Yeah,
you
it was like
needed,
it was
yeah.
all great. And then the guy doing the video capture is like, hey, I caught that. You're good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? And then I'm like, oh, you know,
I can do this.
I can do this.
That's awesome.
I'm doing it first, and then I don't need to bring anybody. And so then a lot of the content after while I was there was actually my gameplay.
That's so
Oh
cool.
man, can we still see some of that somewhere?
yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool to go back
Awesome.
and be like, that's Leslie's gameplay.
That's
What?
so cool.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
that
only
was
been in
fun
the industry
stuff.
like 3 or 4 years, so like talking to someone who's been in it that long is
Yeah,
like,
and
really
I bet,
awesome.
I mean, speaking of being a woman in the industry, like you experienced kind of how women became more prominent too.
Yeah.
And did you ever experience the kind of the negative stuff, like the people who were just, you know, like what we're trying to fight against right now is like being taken seriously and
Yeah.
you know, breaking the stigma that women don't play games,
Yeah.
or if they do, it's like not really serious.
You know, I think we're doing a pretty good job of breaking it. You know, it's not that. I mean, there's still a lot of work to do, of course. You know, it's like kind of as in everything. When I talk about first coming out in the '90s, it was a lot of terrible stuff
Could imagine.
that happened
Yeah.
to me, and you know, and now, yeah, there's still struggles and improvements, and I think it's the same for women in gaming and stuff too. Like the earliest videos that I would do, you know, like for a while I was kind of sporting I don't know if you knew this, but I was sporting the short-haired dyke look for a
Oh
while.
man, you can say
I
that.
don't know if I've seen photos,
I didn't know you rocked that haircut.
but I bet you could rock it. I know you've brought it up a few times in jokes, and I'm like, I can only imagine what it looks like. But
You said something like that at PAX West. It like made me look around. I was like, oh wait, you can say that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was when I was talking about the YMCA
Yeah.
mixed with Liberace person that I saw. Yeah,
I remember
that was
that.
hysterical.
I like looked around. I was like, oh wait, no, it's okay. You can say that. Yeah.
So you know, the way that I looked then, you know, and the fact that I did things with like the It Gets Better campaign and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When people saw videos of me there was actually quite a lot of really super vulgar,
Hateful.
disgusting, hateful stuff that was happening. And for me, I just let that stuff roll off. I don't really care what the person on the other end of the keyboard is doing. You know, it's I'd already been through kind of enough just being me before being a woman in gaming. You know?
So you're saying that, you know, compared to what you're experiencing online, like it didn't compare to anything you experienced in real life.
Yeah, it didn't.
That sucks.
Yeah, so,
but at least, you know, but it sounds like you've learned, like you built up either a way to, you know, process that, or you're just completely like fine with it. Like in your actual experience,
I'm
you've
not
definitely learned from, you know, or
I'm not
through your
fine for the
experience.
person on the other end. Like there's a way to help that person, you know?
Also understanding
that,
the psychology is a great way to like be like, okay, you know, I don't need to spend energy or passion into this to get angry at this person.
Yeah.
Like they're just, you know, I hope they have a better life, you know, and I hope they find happiness, and I hope they find what they're looking for, kind of that compassion and that perspective.
Yeah, and that maybe at some point they look back and go,
not take
oh,
it
I can't believe
personally.
I did that, you know?
I mean, I can tell you as an older, like as a guy who's grown up, like I definitely wasn't as bad as like the comments you were saying, but like I was a little shithead on the internet, like trying to argue with people and like, well, look at all the internet arguments I've won today. Like, and I look back, I'm like, man, I if I had a time machine and like could use it, I'd go back and just do something better with your time. Stop being so.
Yeah. And it's not a healthy mindset. It's not like you're happy doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's that phrase, hurt people.
Right.
Like that's who's doing it.
Exactly.
You mentioned at the start where you like said the phrase like fake gamer or like not a real gamer or something like that. Now, when I'm older, it just blows my mind that there's people that are trying to like force women out of the industry.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the phrase fake gamer is like, it's not a thing. Nobody's a fake gamer.
Right, yeah.
Like if you can't beat the first level of Mario, you're still a gamer. Like
if you have fun and you keep playing it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. And as a kid, like me and my friends would be like, oh, I can't wait to meet a girl who plays a video game. I would love to meet a girl that plays video games. It'd be the coolest thing ever. Like we were like, that was a unicorn to us, and we wanted. I know, yeah, I know. Talk about hitting the jackpot, right? Yeah, totally batting out of my league here. But it was like something we're like, oh, I can't wait for it to happen. Like, oh my god, it would be so great. But now there's guys that are like, there are women who play games, and they want you to either play games with them or watch play games or talk about playing games, and they're just like, you're not a real gamer because you can't tell me the shoe size of Sonic on
right.
Yeah. It's like the most ridiculous thing ever. Like it's like it's this elitist mentality that's like trying to force people out when you should be like, hell yeah, I love games, come play. Like it doesn't like it. It's
the internet. There's so much room.
There is like so much room for everything.
It's crazy. I understand they're like, well, she's exploiting it to make money. It's like, no, you don't have to watch. Move on. Like, just do something else with your life.
Go find another place on the internet to hang out at.
If you don't like this, like said girl's content, and you think she's a fake gamer, go watch someone who you don't feel that way about it.
Yeah.
Go do something else with your life.
Yeah.
But I think, there's something about making comments like that. I think that it I don't know, it's like self-encouragement or it like giving them something to do or have a feeling about, you know what I mean? Like they like they just have a feeling that even if it's not a good feeling, they want that feeling.
It's a
they
vent.
do.
They need to get it out. And then
exactly.
A lot of times you can just assume it's like a kid, like a young kid.
Someone who's younger.
Someone going through some stuff. Like Naomi mentioned it earlier, but now recently the best retort that I've had online when I've met had someone be toxic towards me or like insult me online, I just say, I go like, hey man, I hope whatever's happening in your life gets better. And it's just like, it either like completely disarms them or makes them way angrier. So either way I kind of win, but it's like, it's true. Like usually they're going through something, they're mad about something, they're hurting about something, and it's hopefully it gets better for them.
Yeah.
And you're right, they're searching for feeling like they're, and they do sometimes go with that mentality of like, I'm going to engage with this person. It doesn't matter if it's negative, doesn't matter how, I just want a response. I just want to trigger somebody or I just want to, they're searching for something. And kind of how you've, been able to be like, that person doesn't matter. I mean, not that they don't matter. It's just that you're not going to let it personally infect you or, you know, be toxic, you know, make you feel in a bad way.
If I could help them, I would. But
yes. But there's too many people on the internet, and you probably can't at this point, and it's all through a screen and anonymity and stuff. So I think, you know, taking the approach of like just, you know, knowing that they're out there but not engaging, and the ones that are positive are the ones that, you know, get your energy and attention. And so, yeah, it's very, but I mean, kudos to you for having that mentality and like going that way. It sucks that you have to have a harder time. You had to have a harder time like when you were younger or like before you've, you know, now you're just like the boss of the gaming industry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, we all have things to grow through.
Yes.
That's
You know?
true.
Yeah.
But you're saying like now it's there's still work to be done, but it's somewhat easier or it's being talked about at least. So that's, you know, a form of comfort.
I mean,
in
there's,
itself.
I mean, I think, I mean, there's definitely, you know, you hear of people in workplaces, and I've been in silos of, you know, past companies that I've been in. At AMD, it's like fantastic. I mean, our CEO is a woman, and there's all kinds of diversity and inclusivity.
You've told me so much
initiatives.
about it, and I'm always like, I need to get my sister to work for AMD.
Yeah.
You know, in her.
It would be a good place.
I know.
It would be a good
She's
place.
up in Canada doing her thing.
Yeah.
Hey, we have an office in Toronto,
Oh.
in Markham.
I would totally.
Actually.
Yep. Okay. Well, she's in school. I'll
She's incredibly
I'll proposition
talented.
her.
Yeah.
Incredibly talented.
Very talented. Very artistically talented, and also book smart. Like
I was so mad when she pulled out a guitar and just started jamming. And just
I
was so
know.
good. I
She's
was like,
so
put it
good.
away.
You need to have her as a guest. on there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
it
we
would be a great guest.
Yeah,
That'd be
we
a
could
good
listen to
insight
some-
into
I've been
Naomi.
dying to get her
Yeah.
out here and just to experience like Southern California because she got to see a bit of NoCal. But
Yeah. I'm
NorCal,
big
not
fan.
NoCal.
Big fan of her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got along
Yeah.
really well when we met.
she's great.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all that to say, AMD has a really good. They're just very like
Inclusive, right?
inclusive,
Yeah,
and they put things in place within the company and, you know, outwardly to make that part of their, you know, part because it's part of the community. It's
There's
just-
such a pushback from people on like certain subsect of people on the internet on this idea of like forced inclusivity, but it's like it's not forced, it's representative.
No, yeah.
and
Well, it's like she was saying,
Yeah.
female CEO, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
And
Leslie's
people-
a huge part of
Yeah.
the, not only the voice, but like the panels that they hold about this and, you know, about being inclusive and about LGBTQ and all those different things, you know, and it's an effort within the company for the people who are within the company who have experienced this in their
Yeah.
lives, who, you know, need to make a voice for everyone else out there.
I think the thing is even for people who haven't experienced, like, you know, who don't have the experience of one of those minority groups,
Yeah.
it's like you still try to work in the heart so that you want those minority groups to be happy, even if you don't understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, I don't understand what it's like to be whatever group that is, but
Yeah.
I want them to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And safe in the workplace and
Yeah.
feel included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You know?
not, it's not like you're not asking for like Mission Impossible. It's like just give them an accessible, like friendly work environment.
Yeah.
I found that like in college for me there was like a kind of like a switch moment where like when I stopped surrounding myself with people that just thought the same I did, looked the same way I did, like just, you know, like instead of just being in a little bubble with a bunch of Kyle clones, like I started like hanging out with people that had different opinions and that's actually for me in this example, it's like I'm very liberal, so I started hanging out with conservative friends and like hearing their points of view, and then like people that were like not straight or like just different life experiences, and like things just got better. I stopped being really angry about stuff. I started understanding things, like, and then in the workplace, started making better products. I started having better trains of thought, getting challenged in ways where I'm just like, oh, crap, I didn't even think of that. It's totally valid. Let me adjust. Like,
Right.
It's never a bad thing.
No, you
Yeah.
develop like you know, a sense of compassion or like empathy, and that's something that's, I don't know, it's not always something you're raised in or part of your upbringing. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
something
not-
you learn through life, like through
And that's
life
not necessarily
experiences
that
and
person's
people you meet.
fault. You know
No,
what I mean?
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
like if you're like raised in a bubble, you don't know you're in a bubble. And like I wasn't raised in a bubble, but I had a lot of friends that were just like super conservative town, very white, like very like all these thoughts. And then once they started meeting people that were different, like it immediate change in their personality and things like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just how I feel. Like I think exposing yourself to cultures that are not just a direct mirror, like a replication of what yours is it's never a bad thing.
No, it's,
Yeah.
Like I haven't lost my identity. Like I'm no longer a heterosexual straight white South African male. Like it's like I'm not like now I'm like, you know. Like,
Yeah,
you
I
can
don't
still
know
be-
who I
Yeah,
am
exactly. Like,
which
I
I
know.
think is the fear
Yeah.
for a lot of
It is the
people.
fear,
It's
yeah.
that they're not comfortable in their own,
Yeah.
or there's just some sort of insecurity or something in their life.
Yeah.
It's hard to pinpoint, but it sounds like there's a lot of people out there who, just haven't been exposed to that, or they're afraid of what it could mean for them,
Losing their identity.
It
It is scary though, to be
Yeah.
challenged.
Yeah,
you know what
for
I mean?
sure.
Like I find this topic really interesting, so I know. Like,
No,
I'm
it's
kinda-
good. We haven't had a conversation about
No.
this stuff on our podcast yet.
No, I find
I think it's important.
it's definitely
for us to talk
scary
about.
to be
Yeah.
challenged and think like, oh man, my point of view might be a little shitty. Like, oh, I thought of this in a totally bad way. Like it's just it's interesting, and like the idea of being challenged that way is like very scary. But once you get out from the other side of it, it's positive.
Yeah,
it's like
it's always positive.
led me to better friendships, better relationships, better like professional relationships, better strides in content, mental health, everything. It's never bad.
Yeah. Aw.
No, I sorry. I know like
I
we're
know, I love it. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm applauding you for
Thank you.
Going there,
Yeah.
and it's a vulnerable space for anybody to
Mm-hmm.
even talk about that, like your experience, and also to be able to show people out there like your compassion for it too.
Well, it's. I think it's also like I'm not a big fan of the phrase toxic masculinity. I wish there was a better word for it. But the point it gets across, there's also
Yeah.
this like embedded thing in being a male that you're like, yeah, if you say you're wrong, you're like that's weakness. That's weakness. You can't
gotta
be
be
wrong.
tough.
Yeah.
You can't be wrong. You're never
Yeah.
wrong. Or like there's like variations of that in whatever subsect of masculine culture you live in, and it's like I don't see that as wrong. That's like saying oh crap, I was wrong. I'm gonna fix that and improve, and now I'm stronger on the like. I think it's strength because it's like you're gonna come out better, stronger, faster,
Yeah.
et cetera.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Kind
And
of
it's-
got a song going in my
Yeah,
head now. Did you
I thought of plugging it. I thought of hitting that Kanye Daft Punk song.
You
but I
should have
just,
done
like,
it. You should. I only know better, stronger, and then I forget the rest of the song.
Harder, faster, stronger.
Even there,
Yeah.
so you don't even remember the title.
I don't
But
know.
anyways, eloquently spoken because,
Yeah.
it's a whole other perspective. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that. Leslie doesn't have that.
I mean,
we
man,
come from different walks of life,
Yeah.
and people need to hear it from somebody like you,
Yeah.
who's experienced
Yeah.
a change of heart or a change of
Yeah.
mind about how the world kind of was taught at a certain age. It was taught to you a certain way,
I think the conversations
and
are
now
happening
it's completely changed.
Yeah.
about masculinity and like what
Yeah.
it means. And I'm aware of the irony that we're just talking about women representation. I'm like, let me talk about men. But I think it's part of the conversation, right?
It
Like
is.
this
Yeah. It all
idea
is.
of Naomi and I talk about it a lot, like the pressures, the inherent pressures of being male
Mm-hmm.
that are just kind of like unspoken, and that's why like crazy things happen, and these guys are like either hyper violent or hyper aggressive or
Yeah,
really staunchly want to like, this is who I am. Nothing's gonna change. I'm never wrong. I'm the same as I was
I feel
in
like
high
someone's
school.
impeding
Yeah.
on that
Yeah.
too,
It's like,
and yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a conversation I hope is going to happen in a couple years with some like real, because there's a way to still be masculine.
Yeah, well, it's
you know?
happening now. Like
Yeah.
a lot of, I see it every now and then trending. Like, guy from Maroon 5 was showing a lot of like healthy masculinity with his, I don't know, co actor friend or whatever,
Yeah.
where they like hugged each other on camera or something.
Yeah.
Or there's all sorts of conversations like that happening.
I
and
see a lot of guys hugging these days.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
at the end of
but
the
it's actually been around much
football
longer than that.
game yesterday.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, with
I'm happy about that.
the
But it's-
Patriots and the Lions.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, they're all hugging each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Lions won, so the Patriots, and I'm not a Patriots fan.
Yeah,
but
but-
they were not sore losers. They were
Yeah.
hugging it out, and it
Yeah.
was awesome.
It was like good sportsmanship
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
good healthy masculinity and like relationships
Yeah.
with their fellow players.
And, you know, I believe in hugs, so I think
I'm a big
Oh,
hugger.
I know.
I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger too. I'm a
and
big
she gives
hugger.
really great hugs.
I'm gonna hug you and lift you up sort of person, but I stopped doing that because it's like, oh, I got
Yeah.
you. But I like hugs. I think
Mary
hugs are great.
sometimes, like, in terms of me, when people lift me up, there's only certain people allowed to do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. I've never done it. I've never done it.
Understandable.
And
That is a
Yeah.
rule.
You haven't done, yeah. She's like, she's not a little doll. Put her down.
Well, I had a moment where one of my big guy friends
her for
lifted me
saying
up, and I was like, "Oh, if I wasn't ready for that, that would have sucked." Like,
Yeah.
So I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna stop."
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna stop. Like,
Yeah.
it's this idea of like how you can be healthily masculine.
Yes.
I
and
hope-
but it's being
definitely being
the thing is
explored.
it's people are pointing it out, you
Yeah.
know, and I've even noticed in like past stuff I've watched I watch a lot of TV and actors and stuff. And I've seen like healthy male relationships in, you know, blooper reels or whatever, like just whatever content I'm consuming and in the past, but it wasn't like talked about. And I'm like, it's always kind of been there or represented in some ways, but now it's very much like part of the conversation. If something happens where it's like, oh, these guys are such buddy, but like the Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans
Yes, that's a good
conversation
one.
that was trending on Twitter recently, and I was like, they have the best friendship, and like
Yep.
that. There you go, another example, and we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's just it's continuing that message so that, you know, hopefully younger generations pick up on that and don't feel this need to be, you know, I'm a lone man standing. I need to fight the world. The
Yep.
world's out to get me.
Yep.
And you know,
I don't need help. I'm
I
never
don't need
wrong.
help. Like
Yeah.
if I need
Yep.
help, then I'm weak. And
I need to be the biggest, strongest, fastest. Like
Yeah.
I can't fail. Like if I'm not any of those things, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I have a great group of guy friends, and we're like super close. And
Yeah.
we're like,
Actually, I see so much of that in your relationship.
yeah, they're like those guys have been there for me. Like when I've been like literally at my worst, and it's super helpful, and it's good to have that and foster that. Like I guarantee you, there's someone listening who's like, yeah, I've got my guy friends like that, and it's the best. And it's like, if you can have that and admit that and like grow into that and be comfortable with that, you're gonna be so much happier and so much
Yeah.
healthier. And like,
It's a weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, it's like feeling alone all the time, or like having to be. Not only are you alone, but you can never
put on a
fail,
mask
and you
in front of people.
You can never be weak. You
Not
can
show
never-
your emotions. That's the big thing,
Yeah,
too.
the showing your emotions.
Yeah.
I'm a big baby. I'm like, oh, that was the best thing ever. Like, and it's like it makes me being able to vent the moment of weakness, being emotional, makes it so like later down the line, I'm not gonna snap at
Yeah.
like some
Crazy thing.
inconvenience or
Yeah.
inconsistent or like
Yeah.
some shit.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Leslie's great too because I see that in you. Like ever since I met you, you're just like you're an open. You know, you're just so affectionate and open and
Yeah.
like you want
I
to
love
chat
her- I
with
love your
people,
laugh.
and you're like best friends with everybody. And
Well, what is the
you're-
phrase? I'm your best friend. You say, "Hi, I'm Leslie. I'm your best friend."
Yeah. So
Oh.
at AMD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm your
just
best
I
friend
just
and
go
you-
by your best friend.
Oh, that's
All
awesome.
so it doesn't matter where I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because now I happen
your
to be
best
at
friend.
AMD.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So you were in NVIDIA.
Yeah.
So let's go back. You went to NVIDIA after. Wait, you said you did Apple, then you went NVIDIA, and
Yeah.
then what was after?
And
It was
then
just AMD.
AMD, yeah.
Okay.
And
Just a
then
couple
AMD,
small
yeah.
brands.
Just some small tiny
Yeah.
brands.
Small brands, like you may have heard of them.
And how long were you at NVIDIA?
13 years.
Woo!
Oh my gosh.
My
Yeah.
God.
And I've been at AMD for 2, a little
Yeah.
over 2.
It's awesome.
I guess I'll be 3 in March. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's been a heck of a ride. You
Yeah.
know, I've had so much fun. And you know, AMD has been pretty supportive of, because what I do is I keep one foot in VR and one foot in gaming, right?
Oh, smart.
And so and there's a good mix and overlap of them.
There
and stuff
is,
like that.
all the
Like
time.
I was just thinking, like with the as we're talking about masculinity and you know and showing
Inclusivity,
affection
showing
and stuff
affection,
like that.
emotion.
I think the end of Marvel Powers United, you should be able to hug your fellow heroes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, we did it.
That's
all
so
right,
true.
man,
Everyone group
all
hug.
Yeah,
right,
just hug it out. Like, yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be amazing.
As long as you could do it in a way that somebody doesn't take it into something
Yeah,
creepy
yeah.
or whatever.
Of course.
You know?
My favorite is in The Office when like Dwight and Michael are arguing. He's like, hug it out, bitch. They hug it out. It's so funny.
Oh man,
A hug solves everything.
Yeah,
because
it does.
It makes you happier. You know, you get 10 hugs a day. Mary and I will be like, all right, how many hugs have we done today?
Yeah.
oh, you
Yeah,
guys
a few
actually
more.
count them? That's so good
Yeah.
because it is actually, isn't it scientifically also?
It is. It's
yeah.
scientifically, you're happier if you
If
hug
you
Human
get 3
contact.
hugs, at least 3 hugs, I think it is.
Yeah. I
don't
Like a
remember
minimum
what it
of
was,
3
yeah.
hugs. From
Human contact is super
I'm
important.
thinking
It
10,
is.
but it's because I like the hug. So
You-
it's
you
probably,
like-
I got a
you
big,
like to hug her?
big number up
That's
there.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a hugger.
Were you always like that? Like even growing up?
I have.
Like very just, I
I've
love
always
everybody.
liked
And I wanna,
everybody. Yeah. I've always had an eclectic group of friends. I didn't, like I was able to hang out with everybody from the rich white kids to the band geeks. I was a band geek to the drug addicts and not have to take any drugs.
Nice.
Like I could hang out with them and they'd be like, yeah,
You just
you're cool.
voluntarily did it.
I just did.
No, you didn't have
were-
to.
they
Whatever.
I'm just messing.
Yeah.
They were probably like smoking weed and they're like, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. You don't have to smoke weed with us. You could just hang out.
True. Yeah, it's true. I'd be like, no, I'm not going to. They're like, all right, yeah, sure, we like you.
Yeah,
Nice. That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, I was always
just kick to
And so, and
music or
even
whatever.
in your career and like growing with these companies, you've also like experienced that. Just like, because it's so weird how we formed a friendship too.
Yeah.
And it was just like we were continuing to see each other and we build PCs together now and we're
Yeah.
like best of friends. But yeah.
I loved.
Yeah.
I love the dinners you put together. They're always so fun. And
Usually
it kind of speaks to like the eclectic group
PAX
of people
and
you get
E3
together.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
really
I mean,
nice.
I like everybody. I think everybody has something to offer.
Yep.
There's, there's
Interesting stories.
there's always interesting stories. There's literally in my whole life, there's 3 people that I'm like, okay, I don't want to hang out.
Yeah.
where
in
you're
my
like,
whole life.
I'm
I'm right
setting
here.
a boundary here.
Yeah. I'm right here, Leslie. Please be a little nicer to me. Like,
That says a lot too about like kind of the people you attract too in your life. People who you do.
can you imagine how shitty you got to be to have Leslie be like, no, I'm not. I don't want to be friends. With you.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be
If you're
real
that
bad.
person,
Yeah.
I kind of want to know who those people are because
Yeah,
I'm
we'll say
like,
it off
I
here.
just will
Yeah.
not.
Oops.
I will not speak with that person because
Yeah.
how can you not be liked by Leslie?
Yeah.
I'll tell
or
you-
not like Leslie.
I'll tell you, one of them was one of the 3 people was somebody who didn't understand that I don't like guys.
Oh.
And was
I can convince you.
yeah, it was way too
Get-
inappropriate,
Right.
to
Yeah.
to where I had
And
to. I
disrespectful.
literally said, "Do
Sounds
I
like.
need to kick your
Yeah.
butt?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "But I mean, so it's like." You're not respect. I was married to Mary. You're not respecting.
Yeah.
that.
What
are
is
you
the
doing?
deal here?
And so that just kind of made me feel bad.
So you're
about
like,
that person.
cool. Let's just not be friends.
Yeah. See ya. See ya, buddy.
Don't
Yeah.
waste energy
yeah,
on that.
it's
sucks.
it's not.
Sorry
If
you
you
had to deal with
can't
that.
respect a relationship,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
It's the same
not-
with like people
Especially
who
when
don't.
you're very clearly communicating. like,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's very obvious. I only have eyes for Mary.
Yeah.
There's
Also married,
nothing
like
else.
Yeah.
There's there's nobody else that I.
Yeah.
It's all about her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's it.
I
No matter who the other person is,
it's like
all
she's my
about her.
family. Please respect that I have this family.
It's this mentality from most guys is like, well, I would love to be pursued like this, so
Yeah.
I'm going to pursue you like this. So
Yeah.
it's the same reason why they send like pictures of their shriveled wieners. It's like, well, I would love to receive a
Right.
naked picture, so I'm going to send a naked
And
picture.
so if somebody did that to me, I probably wouldn't want to hang out with them
Yeah,
either. But
yeah.
I've never met anybody who sent me a
Thank God.
shriveled picture like that.
Good. Good for you. You have avoided that part of the internet
Yeah.
successfully.
Yeah.
I think the funniest response I've seen, it's like a meme now almost, where like I've seen a couple posts where a girl will get sent an unsolicited dick pic, and the girl will respond, "Did you send me a picture of a child's penis?"
Oh my God.
So funny. And then
Because obviously they're scared at that point.
Yeah, and then the girl's like, I'm gonna report you for this. Like, he's like, it's not a child's penis. She's like, I'm sending this right. It's the funniest way to handle that. That's so
man.
good. But like the
That
guys,
is hysterical.
yeah.
I'm pretty lucky. I haven't had too
Yeah.
many.
Good.
So it's a very short list. I really like everybody. I've hugged everybody, to where you've met my friend Rob. He'll like walk around, and there was one time there was like this homeless person that I was helping out with stuff and the gift cards that I give out. And she was so happy, and she wanted to give me a hug, and he stands in the middle. He goes like, nope, no touching.
Not
There's
happening.
No touching here. No.
That's funny.
That kind of thing.
It's funny.
Yeah, you
But yeah,
you give the homeless people cards, like to McDonald's, right?
Yeah,
Gift
yeah,
cards.
yeah,
That's really
yeah.
nice of you. That's a good way. That's a good answer to do it, like, because it's just going to be used for
They'll
food.
eat.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You can
Gotta use
get
it
a
for
large
food.
volume of food for that much money.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Did you start doing that out of just randomly, or was it something you got an idea for?
I grew up. One of the things that we would do around Thanksgiving as kids was we'd make sack lunches and then go to
Shelters?
Not shelters. It was more of the like the people that hang out at Home Depot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. the
the
workers
day
that,
workers
like, asking
kind
for
of
work,
thing.
yeah.
And so we'd go and give them lunches,
Aw,
or
that's a
we'd
nice
find
thing.
homeless
That's really
people or
cute.
whatever,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
really-
it's like they're out on Thanksgiving trying to
Right.
get work, so
Yeah.
we'd give them sandwiches, or if we saw homeless people, there weren't a lot of homeless people where we were there then, so it was more the day workers and stuff. And then kind of growing up, as I started doing things like packing snack bars and just always having something on me to give to
someone
who was
on the
hungry.
streets, yeah.
And then there was one day that I walked away from, Mary and I were in Vegas, and I gave somebody a sandwich that I'd got from the local store, and as I'm walking away, I hear him say to some other guy, "Hey, dude, you want this? I don't have any teeth," right? So,
so funny.
So he couldn't bite into
he
the
couldn't
sandwich.
bite into the sandwich. So then I go back to the store and I get him a protein shake, and I
That's
give
nice.
him that.
That's
and
smart.
Then,
That's perfect.
then from that point on, I was like, there's a McDonald's everywhere. There's all kinds of food. They can find stuff for whatever condition their teeth are in, if they need to worry about that, or if they have a sugar fix, or they need coffee, whatever it is they
Right,
need.
yeah.
So many options. They get to pick. I'm not carrying anything
really nice of you.
bulky around.
Yeah.
So
I remember I used to have a job in college. One of my weekend jobs is where I had to drive around a lot and I had to go to a lot of bad neighborhoods. And one of the funniest experiences I had, I was in a really bad neighborhood, and this guy walks up who's clearly homeless, and it's like 110 out right now. He's like, "Hey, man." And I was like, "Oh, shoot. Like, all right, what's going on?" I was like, "Hey, dude, like, how's it going?" He's like, "It's real hot out." I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's really hot." And he's like,
Oh, sorry, my guys.
"No
My
worries."
guys,
He's like,
continue your story.
he's like, "I'm not gonna lie to you." He's like, "I need some money." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "All right, man." He's like, "And I'm not gonna lie to you. I just want a cold beer. I want to get a burger. And I want some weed. I want to sit in the shade." I was like, "Dude,
Totally
here's
get
10
that.
bucks." Like, I think I gave him like 20 bucks. I was like, "Go do that. Like, you go do what that." Like, I don't know. It's just helping people. It just feels good. And
Yeah.
like, and the fact that he was just like, "I'm not gonna lie to you. I want beer. And I
Yeah.
want weed." And it was like 115 out. I was like, "Dude, yeah, go."
You need that.
Go get a
It's
beer, go
not
get
a good
high,
day to
and
be
go.
outside
Like, your life is a
and
lot
stuck.
harder than mine. If that's what you need to get through the day right
Yeah.
now, do it. So
Yeah.
that was just like a funny story I was thinking of. You also mentioned like the day workers. I saw in the area, like in Southern California, they have like designated spots where they can hang out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we were driving to like Laguna Beach, I think, and we drove by.
that's where we'd go when I was a teenager. Because I grew up, half of my childhood was in upstate New York, the other half was in Southern California.
Yeah.
And
And
so
that's-
it was in the
Laguna
Laguna
Beach,
Laguna
yeah.
Beach area. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'd go
it's-
down the street, and there was a place where
There's
they
like
were all
there's
at.
like a restroom, there's like benches, and
Yeah.
there's a tree, and it's like
Oh, wow.
a like day worker pickup spot, and it's like that's pretty.
They didn't
cool.
have a sign back when I was a teenager. but
It
it's probably
says
the
something
same.
like
yeah.
that. It says something like day worker or whatever, but I mean, you're not going to stop them from doing it.
Right.
So you might as well give them a place to do it. Like,
And make it
And
more comfortable.
It's probably the same spot that they were hanging out at,
anyway. Yeah.
35 years ago.
just like prohibition of anything really doesn't work. So
Yeah.
it's like you might as well control it and like try to
Make it better.
make it better
Yeah.
and
In
some ways.
healthier. That's how I feel
Yep.
about.
So Thanksgiving, they'd get turkey sandwiches.
That's so nice
Nice.
of
That
you.
is so nice. That's
so
such a
nice.
good
It
story.
was a good thing my mom kind of put in me.
You had that
know?
modeled for you. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
This is why we love Leslie, guys.
Right, Leslie's great. I know this is
She's just a good person.
we should just name this episode like the Leslie Fan Club podcast.
It's interesting to get to know like all these different stories about you, because we I don't know, we just like, we've known each other, we've worked together, but it's always like good to get friends in and be like, okay, like what was your childhood like? What was your life path?
Yeah.
Like what led you to be such an awesome person that I'm best friends with now? That's what I want to know. Yeah.
It's been a lot along the road, but I think the fact that I can like people and see the good in them is just a blessing. You know, just something that that I'm lucky to have.
It's part of your personality and like your.
There's like a sentence or something. Sorry, I'm like trying to fish for it in my head. But basically, what I was gonna say, there's like a sentence or like I don't know the word I'm looking for, but like a fucking not I don't. Anyway, so basically, what I was saying is like I always find that the people that are the kindest have usually gone through something really hard in their life.
Oh yeah.
Or at least a lot, like almost every time. Like
almost every time,
like
because it's I don't know. You all go through hard things. Everyone goes through hard things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone has a hard.
Someone who hasn't gone through hard things hasn't. There's things that you just can't learn without. Having gone through them.
It's like a video game. It's like leveling up. Like you can only level up by going through conflict.
It's so much more interesting. I mean, why do we enjoy movies or stories or video games about these characters that have such hard lives and that come out on the other end of it better, or sometimes they don't always come out the best. But for those that do, those are the most interesting, and like those are the stories that I'm personally always interested in hearing about. And because it helps me in the hard times to be like, well, if this person got through that, then I should be okay.
If Brittany can survive 2007, we can make it through today.
Right, yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's a phrase like the kindest people are the ones who've been hurt the most, or like the saddest people are the ones who make people laugh.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
And to bring it back to gaming, like gaming really does help people through hard times, and like it's also a really great way to include people, because I feel like, as gamers for the longest time, we were like considered weirdos, or we were considered like outcasts or not the cool kids. And now it's become such a cool thing to play games.
Yeah.
And it's inclusive in that now everyone's getting like a chance to be like, I love this video game. And to also be able to connect through the internet and find people who love the same things that you do. It just has made it for a better world. And now we're having all these like even deeper conversations about harder things. Yeah. Which is why I think it's happening. But yeah, like Leslie, do you have a game that you've always wanted to like talk about that's like close to near and dear to your heart?
Yeah, like what's like your favorite?
Because now if you're on a gaming podcast, you got to talk about your favorite game. I'm sorry. It's just going to be a rule.
I mean, there's a lot that I've liked. I loved Borderlands.
Yeah.
That's one I didn't play much.
I love the humor in it.
It's got a lot of soul, right? That's what I've heard.
Yeah, and isn't it like British humor too? It's like very sarcastic.
There's a lot of sarcasm. I wouldn't
like. That's what I always got from it.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought British, but I can see where you're just because I don't hear any of that accent in
I know
in the game.
Yeah, the characters
thing,
I meant like in terms of the tone of the comedy
and the sarcasm. I mean, I just love it. That's exactly why I love it. Is that I mean, it's fun.
It's a lot of looting,
things up and
blowing all the guns you can collect in that game.
All the guns and the it's not blood. It's like whatever it is.
The comical,
it's
playful.
all comical, playful. Yeah. I loved that. I mentioned earlier I love the Just Cause.
Yes, Just Cause franchise.
Just Cause.
Are you gonna play the new one?
4, right?
I will.
Just
I will
Cause
play
4.
the new one.
Yeah.
Some of my friends have been working on it.
We got to see it at E3. It was really cool.
Yeah, we got to see a demo. We didn't play it ourselves, but we got to see a demo. And yeah, they try to take it to the extreme every time. They try to bring in different mechanics.
Yep.
And I don't know if we can talk. Yeah, we can talk about what we saw. It was like a big
tornado.
They
did like.
They had a tornado in the middle of a game. And I've never seen that before.
Well,
where
like
you have to actually interact and move a tornado. It's insane.
Dynamic.
You'll get to play it. You'll see.
Yeah.
It's dynamic. Like it moves around the map, and you can use it to do all the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It was really cool. It's super cool.
And they did it Just Cause.
That was really good. You got to give it finger guns.
But that is a good franchise. I of course
Played the first
and
one.
and a lot of this too is because in my experience I've been able to get to know the people who made these games, right? So so I love the folks at CD Projekt.
Yeah.
Project, is that how it said?
Something
CD
like that.
Projekt Red.
I probably just butchered it,
Yeah.
but it's
That's
like
okay.
that's in my head.
CD Projekt Red.
You know, like I once did a behind the scenes. It was really funny. I did a behind the scenes video of their studio in Poland.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
And yeah, it
Were
was
you in Poland
really cool.
to shoot it?
Obviously.
Just for that, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I hired a local.
Maybe she got footage and put it together. I don't know.
No, yeah, I went to.
sorry, I
I
was
went
just
to their
inquiring
studio
to
in
see.
Poland.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it totally could have just been like a recording sent. I'm an asshole. I'll take that one. I'll eat that one. Sorry, guys. Carry on with what you're saying.
All right, so you were in Poland. You got to do
Yeah.
a behind the scenes video.
Behind the scenes video of all the.
I just want to
the
clarify
staff and
she was
stuff.
in Poland.
I was in Poland, and I hired a local video crew, and then all the people from CD Projekt and the video guys come, and they all stand around me, and they're giant.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
so tall.
Yeah.
And one of the video guys looks down. He's like, "I just have to say before we get started, you're really small.
You're the smallest
You're
person
the
I've
smallest
ever.
person I've ever seen."
That's funny.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
But
That's so
you
funny.
know, but they're you know, that's a company that has a lot of humor
Yes.
in everything that they do, and so I just love their
They're both it's like a really, I mean, The Witcher's super serious and super
Yeah.
like not serious
Right,
at times.
yeah,
It's so funny.
exactly,
They
exactly.
balance that really nicely.
that
I
whole
think, in the game.
horse.
I know,
you
yeah.
unicorn thing.
Yeah. That's
That-
another
But
great game.
yeah,
I'm excited
yeah.
for Cyberpunk like that. Like,
Yeah.
I like what they do.
We got to see that
I
demo.
cannot wait. And when I first saw, I need to find this character's name, but when I first saw her, I was like, I sent a tweet out to my friends at CD Projekt. I'm like, I
give me
can
a
say
doll.
that's me, right?
Yes, you can.
That is after me. You did that. It's me in
Yeah.
your game. And
That's
they're
so
like,
You can
funny.
claim that. No one else has claimed it. You need to claim that.
That's so funny.
It literally
That's
is
what
you.
they told me. That I could
Yes.
claim it.
That's so good.
It's perfect. So
I
everyone look out for Leslie.
Yeah, and
Cyberpunk.
and we were talking about Assassin's Creed earlier too. I've had a lot of fun
With Ubisoft
with
games?
or
just
with
Odyssey?
Ubisoft games. I think my favorite franchise though out of Ubisoft is Assassin's Creed. I can't think of any that I love
As much.
more than that. Yeah,
Assassin's
yeah.
Creed's
And I'm really
amazing.
looking forward to Odyssey, and getting to play through the full game. As you know, I'll probably play it twice. Once as a guy, just to
Yeah.
see what those issues are you're talking about. And once-
That's funny.
What's it
and
like
once
to be
as
a man
girl.
and
Yeah, what's it like to be a man? Not
Yeah.
I
in
don't-
that time
No,
of
because I play
war?
lots of men in video
yeah,
games.
yeah. So,
I'd imagine you have, yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of games up until now didn't have that choice.
Yep.
You just
Yeah.
had to play the male character.
I love, and I love that that all these different characters are coming in to play
Yeah.
in games just because, and that's kind of one of the things I liked about Borderlands early on was the different character.
And there were strong
Choices.
female characters too.
Strong female characters,
Who was
yeah.
it? I'm blanking on her name. That voice actress, she kind of became famous for her character in it. Oh my god, Tiny Tina.
Yeah.
Who voiced her?
I've had dinner with her.
not
Ashley Birch.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
oh my
yes.
god, I was like, I know it's Ashley. What's her
Yeah.
last name? Don't mess it up. Okay. But yeah,
Yeah.
like there's some strong female characters in that game, and they're wonderful.
Well, and you can not just play as a male or female, but as a the Krieg and different. It's like you can just
That's
be
really
the big
big monster.
Big monster destroying
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like even that is, just kind of bringing in that different.
dynamic.
Dynamic,
yeah, it's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
There's so many different characters you can play. Types like scrawny characters. I mean, Kyle also knows this from WoW. Like you've had your choices from day one with
Yeah.
WoW.
Yeah, yeah.
Like male,
Yeah.
female, orc, elf. Like it just
you want to
goes
be a
the
goblin,
gamut.
you want to
Yeah.
be a panda. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's my favorite game of all time as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like if we just go any way you want to slice it, but we just go sheer volume of time played.
I know,
It's World
yeah.
of Warcraft. I love that game.
Yeah,
I've made a lot of
Probably
friends.
why I've never played that game is
Yeah.
because I want to be able to play other games.
In its current state,
feel
it's
that.
really good. It's really
He
good.
plays
right
so
Really?
much WoW, and all his single player experiences, as you've said before,
Yeah.
is like it's
I
all
watch
through the games that I
Naomi.
play.
Yeah.
You know what I've had fun with lately? Do you have a Rift?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we have a
Have you
Rift.
played Marvel Powers United?
No.
No, but I have a code for it.
So much fun.
It's that
I
fun.
have to
huh?
play
It is so much
It's
fun.
just a space thing for us right now. We just
It's our one room where we have the studio is pretty packed. It's
You don't need a couch out there.
yeah. No, I was really thinking of setting up. I honestly was thinking of setting up my
On the balcony?
other computer. No, my other computer in front of the TV and use it on the TV and then have the VR out there. But
Yeah, we could do that.
When
but
I-
There's a
Naomi's
little
very
space
clean
between-
and organized.
When I have a my attic built out, you'll have to come over because I'm planning on VR space up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were
And
telling me
then
about that.
VR in my office, you can play Marvel Powers United out there. And then our living room, you've seen that. That's
Yeah.
actually pretty spacious.
Very
So-
spacious.
So I'm planning on having 3 to 4. I might try and see what I can do out in my garage. That might be a
Whenever you
little
have
funny.
a party or whatever, we'll just invite ourselves.
yeah, I would.
It's always an open invite. You know that. I don't. It's like invitations aren't required.
Perfect.
I like the idea of
I
like
will
really
see you tomorrow.
testing that. Yeah. I like the idea of really testing that, like 3 a.m. Like, hey, we're here. Let's make some food. You're like,
Hey.
get the f away from me. Yeah.
I wouldn't. Mary would.
Yeah.
But-
yeah.
Mary would be like, "Come on, Kyle, you
Yeah.
know better than this.
Mary would.
You're
but
taking advantage of
I'd
something."
be like, come on in.
Yeah. I got some Hot Pockets.
I got some
or
good
some-
wine. No,
yeah.
I got good wine and
Her
grappa
wine cooler.
for
Oh,
you.
grappa. Oh, my God.
I've got a you didn't see my pool table, right?
No, I
I
didn't.
got a pool table in the garage now. It's a proper
Ooh.
9
Oh,
foot.
I saw on you
pro
had it
size,
felted
yeah.
purple, right?
Yep,
That's
I had it
awesome.
felted
I might have
purple.
seen that. I
Yeah.
might have seen. You posted it?
Yeah, I
On Twitter.
posted it on Twitter.
I
Yeah,
did.
it's really
I
pretty.
had a pool table in every like house I rented in college, so it was pool
This is
table
the
was
first
so
one I've
fun.
had it in a long time, and I'm so happy to have it. But I have a little wine fridge in the garage that has 7 bottles of grappa,
Oh
Wow.
man.
different ones.
Yeah.
In there.
One thing you know about Leslie, not only does she really like purple, she really likes her grappa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it at PAX where the one guy was like having to finish all the grappa? He's like, I'm gonna throw up in your shoes,
It's
Rob.
so
yeah.
bad. I mean, they were like, yeah, take a sip at the end, and I just had a little bit in my mouth, and then I just was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need more than this.
Pretty rugged
It's
stuff.
pretty strong.
It is. It's rugged stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can handle that stuff because
you
I'm only
love
4
it.
foot
Yeah, you're-
11.
But she can.
You could drink me under the
she can
table
drink a
for
lot of-
sure.
Yeah.
I actually
Oh, grandma.
once drunk. I mean, thankfully he's recovered now, but it was a long time ago.
Oh, no.
An alcoholic.
Okay, I don't know where this is going, but
I drunk
I'm
him
very
under
intrigued.
the table.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But with tequila, because before when I was probably your age, I was like
Yeah.
30s,
Yeah.
late 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
Tequila was my drink, and I could, and I hadn't really been exposed to grappa yet. I could do 12 shots tequila and be fine.
Ooh.
Man,
I could still, as long as I was standing, I could still shoot a mean
I
game
would
of
be
pool.
so gone by like the third
I'd wake
one.
up and be like, all right, who wants
Naomi would.
breakfast?"
I would be like. I'd be like carrying Naomi. If
Oh yeah, I would have already been like.
There's a
hungover
funny
for 3
Naomi
days
drinking too
and-
much story.
Yeah, it'd be bad. You're really bad. So
You're-
That's funny.
you actually like someone just passed out, or what was the story?
Yeah,
You
he
said
passed out.
He just went straight under the table.
He just
Ugh.
totally passed out, and I was like,
wow.
dude, he's a foot taller than me.
One of my favorite
We went
stories is
shot for
Naomi
shot,
too
yeah.
drunk on her birthday.
Oh, and then the day after,
Oh,
where
you were
I puked
hungover.
rainbows.
Yeah, she
It
puked
was,
rainbows.
It was a beautiful thing and
Yeah.
a not so beautiful thing at the same time.
I had to I was drinking too, but I literally carried Naomi home, and
Yeah.
then we were
Wow.
locked out of the apartment, and she
And I just
slept
slept
out
on
of the
the
front,
floor.
and I went and got someone.
Wow.
And then the guy I got was like, "Is that Naomi from IGN?" she was like, "Oh my god."
She told me that the next day, and I was like, oh no.
And then at the time I was
So
like, yeah,
bad.
and she's like, yeah, and just walked into the apartment after we locked it. And then when we get in there, I'm getting her water and
Yes.
making sure she's good for the day, the following day. I'm like, hey,
Pain meds.
drink all of this water, feel better. But as I leave, this was our first apartment. As I leave, I just hear smack, and I'm like, what the I turn around, I just see Naomi crawling out of the bedroom,
So
like
great.
on the
I
way
know.
to the
Story.
bathroom, like
Oh
Yes.
no.
going to worship at the porcelain goddess. It was so funny. It's really funny story.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm so glad now it's out
That
there
I shared
for
it
all
with
of
the world.
you
It was
to know
your
about.
birthday. You had a great year. Like it was your birthday.
You're right. You're right.
You're a
I'm not,
grown-ass
I'm not
woman,
really
like,
embarrassed. I'm
no.
kind of being playful about it.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
It is embarrassing. I've got a lot of embarrassing stories.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to talk about them.
Yeah.
But definitely that was
You've seen me like
a crazy
super drunk.
experience for me.
Yeah, you've seen. I just get.
And a memorable moment
I either
for
get
you.
super sleepy.
I don't remember any.
I literally carried her home. Like I put her on my shoulder and she's like, throw up. And I was like, okay. And I like carried her like this way. And she's like, and I put her fireman style.
Sounded exactly like that.
No, she was not. Well, it was like, it was your birthday. You hadn't eaten because you were dieting. And then the bartender was a lady who like really liked us. It was making all the drinks crazy strong.
Yes.
Oh my
She was,
God.
And then
It
I had to
was
hop the
extreme.
fence and like leave her. And I was just like, man, just gotta get it. It was funny. She gets like really laughy and giggly when she's drunk. I get like, I love everyone. I like,
Yeah.
Like, oh,
you're my
man,
friend.
you're
I
the
love you. I
best.
want to tell you how much I love you. Or I get sleepy.
I'm like a combination of both of you,
Yeah.
but my volume gets bigger.
Louder. Yeah.
Louder.
I either I'm
I
either
wonder if
that
that's
way.
because of the place you're at too, because most places just pump
Yeah.
the music too loud, and
Yeah.
you literally have to yell
Yeah.
to get here.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you'll be fine in that situation.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if you're not sober, if you're
Yeah.
not drunk, even so, you'll be fine. Everyone will be able to hear you.
This was such a good episode. I'm really glad.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
I forgot
thank you for coming.
you were a Star Trek fan too, so we didn't get to touch on that, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll
you-
leave you.
But
I
this has
just
been
got
great.
new Star Trek trading cards.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'll leave you guys one. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yay. I'm so excited. Also, your statues at your place. She's got these. I'm guessing they're pretty valuable at this point because they are from like the very first
The
release of Next Generation. No, it was the other one.
There's a couple of Voyager statues. So
What, Kyle? Why are you making faces?
I yawned and then
Oh.
I made a funny face at the camera. I'm
Why?
sorry.
I thought you were like making a face at the camera because I forgot which Star Trek it was that she had
No,
statues of.
nerdy
It was,
shit's totally fine.
It was
It was Voyager.
Voyager.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
that's the
the
one.
Borg Queen and Seven
that's
of
right,
Nine.
and they look so cool.
And then I have
and they're
some-
so big and
Yeah.
like tall and fancy
There's
looking.
a ship.
But they're like from 1990, like whenever it came out.
Probably because I
Must have been
was
in the 90s.
It must have been the 90s because I was a I was a sign language interpreter for Star Trek.
I wanted to touch
conventions.
on that story. Glad you put it in the podcast. Woo! Sign language interpreter for Star Trek, like when they would have these.
Yeah, Creation Entertainment, all their Southern California to Nevada
That's cool.
conventions, the Grand
So she was
Slams,
tight
whatever.
with the, Star
group.
Trek
I had
folks.
I
Yeah.
had I'd engaged with every actor. I interpreted for every actor.
How amazing is that to go through that?
Except for, like, I stopped before Enterprise. I
Oh,
never met
okay.
anybody on Enterprise, but I met everybody from Next Gen, Deep Space
That's so
Nine.
cool.
What? Did you meet
Voyager.
Stir Pat Stew?
Yeah, I interpreted
Oh
for him
man!
too.
Do you have a photo with him?
I don't think so.
Darn it.
I don't think
But
so.
still, that's
I think
really
I have
cool.
one with Jonathan Frakes in the background.
Wow.
That's cool.
That,
All right, so we
um,
did get to touch on the Star Trek stuff, guys. I'm so happy about that.
Have you watched The Orville?
I have not watched
Oh,
The
you
Orville.
might
It's
like
really
that.
silly, but like their
Yeah.
sci-fi is really good. But
Yeah.
they make like some good jokes. I don't know. You might like it.
I
Yeah,
might,
it's
I might,
definitely.
yeah.
Or you might just
Star
be
Trek
like, I wish I was
inspired.
watching Star Trek.
Right.
Could be that. Could be that.
One of these days I'm gonna watch Discovery. I haven't yet because I
Oh.
haven't been thrilled about the pay to play kind of
Oh, really?
right.
setup that I didn't have to pay for classic Next Gen or Voyager or Deep Space Nine, and
Why am
What's
I
it
paying for
called?
this?
It's Access something.
I think it's CBS.
CBS Access.
Access, yeah.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. So I haven't been a fan of that. So I've kind of been holding off, but I do really want to see it. And that's where they got you too, because you've got all these Star
Yeah.
Trek fans out there that really want to see it.
I
and
know.
So they're totally taking advantage of us.
Exploitation of the
It's also
fandom.
just
Exploitation.
smart. Let's be real. It's
Yeah.
smart. Like, why not?
Disney's gonna do it.
I know I'm whining.
Any network's gonna
Yeah.
do it.
I want my Star Trek and I want it free.
Yeah. Give me highly polished content
Well, if
for
you
free.
want-
Yeah.
If you have Hulu, you can watch The Orville, and if you do, let us know because we really like that show.
All right.
It's a recent
I don't-
watch for us.
I don't
actually.
have Hulu, but I bet it's on other, or maybe. I don't
know.
Maybe I'll look.
I'm
look
sure
forward to
it definitely aired on TV first.
It's
I think.
formatted.
It
for
did,
TV.
Formatted
yeah.
for TV and then went to Hulu. Because you always see like when they cut to commercial, it's kind of awkward. Because they did it the exact way that Next Gen does it. You know, it's like the music dies down. There's like this awkward pause.
Burn, burn,
Yeah.
burn.
And then it comes back.
Black
The
screen.
music comes back up. And anyways, it's very funny. But yeah, this has been such a good time.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
I've had a great time.
We're so glad
This
to
is just
finally
like a
have
regular
you on.
conversation that we'd be having regardless of the microphones.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
No, it's been great. I mean, sometimes serious and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So-
kind of
We touched on some good topics too.
Yeah.
We did.
And I think
we got to know you more.
Your audience has a deeper glimpse into all three of us, really.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
That's the hope.
You
Like
know?
hopefully, like they are enjoying the content. They're learning
Yeah.
something. They're hearing some sort of reflection they need to hear in themselves for themselves. That's how
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'd love to hear what comments
Oh, yeah.
on
I will.
this and all of that. you
I'm
know?
going to keep you posted on the YouTube stuff.
I
And
think we're
only
gonna
the
drop-
good stuff, but
Yeah.
there usually is never bad stuff on my channel.
Yeah. I think we're gonna drop both episodes at the same time, right?
I think so.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so you
Awesome.
guys can stay tuned. Well, what do I usually do for outros?
Where can we find you?
Where can we find you,
Oh.
Leslie? Yes, people need to know. She always is. You're very active on Twitter. So
Very
you should
active
definitely
on
follow
Twitter.
her on Twitter.
Yep, I'm at Love Laugh Leslie on Twitter. It's easy to find me because if you look up my first and last name, there's only one me. So
Yeah.
if you Google,
true.
if
Yep.
you Google me, it's 100% me. But yeah, I mean, I'm mostly active on Twitter, and that's
Okay.
probably the best place to find me. I'm also on Instagram as Leslie Pirritano.
Leslie Pirritano. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good place.
Pirritano. Wait, did I pronounce
Pirritano.
it? Pirritano.
I can't
I'm
believe
so
I
sorry.
spelled that right.
Pirritano,
I
no,
spelled
you
that
did a
right
great
the first
job.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Really
But
proud
yeah,
of that.
I love Laugh Leslie, and I follow people who want to have conversations. So if somebody's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you,"
You
I'll
do
follow them back.
engage, yeah.
So I like everybody, like we already said. So.
Yeah,
Very
that's
great.
perfect.
That's awesome.
Yay! So
Cool.
you guys can all make sure to do that. Make sure to follow her. And just to wrap out the show, thank you so much again.
Yeah.
We like to let you guys know that we are on also iTunes. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can
Also
subscribe to
iTunes.
our iTunes. You can also
Yep.
listen to us on Google Play. You're probably
Spotify.
everywhere. Spotify's the other one.
There's other services that scrape the feed too. So
Yeah. So thank you for listening, though. We really appreciate it so much. And we have a lot of fun doing these. And we get to have our best friends on the show.
Yeah,
So, like,
it's
what's
super
not
fun.
to love
Yeah.
about that? But yeah, if you guys want to send us any comments or feedbacks, we also have an email. So it's everybodygamespodcast@gmail.com.
we should lead with that.
We should lead with that. Yeah, we should definitely try to lead with that.
Yeah.
I'll make some notes
Make
for our
some-
future episode.
Take down the feedback.
Constantly improving.
Yeah. Constant
Yeah.
improvement.
So that's it, guys. Thanks for catching up with us and hanging out with us for a little bit.
Yep.
We'll
Thanks for
see you next
watching.
Hugs to
episode.
everybody.
Thanks for
Hugs to
watching.
everybody.
Thanks for
Virtual
listening.
hugs
Virtual
being
hugs.
sent right now.
Yep.
Everything. I'm standing up. Okay, bye.